Hey guys, I'm Donovin Darius, former 10-year NFL player, international speaker, motivator, and success coach. I want to ask you a question. What is it that's holding you back from accomplishing your dreams? You see, most people in life, there's many things that hold them back. But when I ask people all around the country, what are those two things that really hold you back? They may give me a list of things, but for the most part, most people say two things, and I want to share with you today. Most people say fear or the lack of encouragement or motivation. And so I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about fear. You oftentimes hear that fear is a false evidence appearing real. Fear can be false experiences appearing real. And so most times when people don't understand, they don't understand how they got the fear, what they need to do with the fear, and how do they overcome it. And so I'm going to tell you really quick, just in this quick little post here, how you overcome this fear. You see, at the end of the day, where does fear come from? Most time fear comes from things that we saw, things that we experienced, things when we were a child, things that we just unconsciously let in. Maybe like a horror movie, we saw something, and then all of a sudden later, when you least expect it, it comes up. That thought comes up. And so I remember for me, man, it was one time after I finished playing several years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, that I started having a fear of flying. Now granted, I flew all over the country playing with the NFL and traveling and everything, but out of nowhere, I started having panic attacks on the plane. That means that my heart started pumping. I felt like things was going to close around on me on the plane, and I didn't know what to do. I thought I was literally going to die. And so I started to think about it. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on, and where did this come from? And so as I took inventory, as I stopped and said, okay, I got to discover where did this come from, I found out that months before that, I was watching a lot of movies where guys was experiencing a lot of fear. A lot of movies where there was a lot of violence and guys was basically feeling really scared because of being in claustrophobic or small spaces. And so realizing and not understanding at the moment that whatever you let into your eye gate, whatever you let in your ear gate, whatever you accept consciously or unconsciously, it's on the inside of you. If you haven't watched the movie, there's a wonderful movie out I recommend you go see. It's called Inside Out. It's an animated movie, but it has a great life stories, and it basically talks about, at the end of the day, that every experience you have is on the inside of you. And so when we go through experiences of fear, it's because we've allowed things to happen. We've allowed things to come inside, and then you know what, for some of you guys, some of you had no idea what was going on. You may have had a caretaker, you may have had a parent, you may have had an aunt, an uncle, you may have had something or someone that was not protecting you and allowed you to be exposed to things that you shouldn't have been. And so now, years later or months later, however it may be, you find yourself experiencing these levels of fear. These levels of fear where it feels like you cannot control anything. And so at the end of the day, I'm here to encourage you. I did a post, another video, go check on my website, donovindarius.com, okay, where I did a post about how do you overcome and dominate fear. Because if that's what's holding you back from your dreams, then guess what? I got good news for you. You can dominate it. You can overcome it. And here's how you do it. The first way, you want to discover what the fear is, meaning you got to discover what is it, where did it come from? Where did it come from? After you discover where it come from, then you define it. You basically say, this is exactly what it is. It's a fear of heights. It could be a fear of poverty, a fear of failure, a fear of success. It's a fear of small places, it's a fear of snakes. What is it? Because after you define it, then the next thing you can do is you can develop a plan. And when you develop a plan, listen, there's nothing in this life when you strategize and you plan and you take the time to overcome it. There's nothing that you can't defeat. What if? What if you lost your job? What if you went poor? Could you develop a plan to take care of yourself? Could you develop a plan to get another job, to provide for your family? What if you lost a loved one? What if you lost a loved one? Could you over time get over it? Could you live and honor that person? Could you celebrate that person's life beyond their death? Now granted, you may not be able to replace that person, but you can definitely find a way to live in honor and keep their memory alive and keep them in your heart. You say, well, wait a minute, what if I die? What is about fear of death? Well, if you die and you're not walking, you don't have a hope greater than just this life right here, then I feel sorry for you. But if you do have a hope, if you do have a hope beyond just this life, if you believe, truly you believe, that there's a reason, a greater purpose that you're here, more than just to go through life and trials and tribulations, but there's a greater purpose that you're here. And when you're done on this temporary earthly time period, that I believe at the end of the day, that we're going to be able to live forever. And so again, I ask you and I say to you, what are you allowing to hold you back? What fear are you allowing to hold you back? Why is it that you can't move forward? What are you allowing to do? Because after you discover it, after you define it, after you develop a plan, then you can defeat it. Every enemy is meant to be defeated. Every challenge is meant to be overcome. Every adversity is meant to strengthen you and to develop you. But it's only when you go through your process. And so is it fear that's holding you back? Because if it is, hopefully you just realize that I gave you a plan in which you can overcome it. But what about if you're saying that what's holding me back is that I just need some encouragement? You know, I have a saying that we can go faster by ourselves, but sometimes we can go further with other people. And so maybe you need somebody to come alongside of you, because we all can get unmotivated at times. Even me, the motivator, I get unmotivated at times. And there's things that I got to do. And so what happens when you get encouraged, when you need that motivation? Well, number one of the things that you do is you get connected to people that can speak into your life. See, when you look at your life, think about yourself as a tree. 95% of the people in your life are here for the fruit that your tree bears. But only 5% of the people in this world are here for the root and can take care of that root. And so you have to be strategic. And so what I'm saying to you is that let me be that 5%. Let me be someone that you've allowed to be. You give me permission to speak into your life and to hold you accountable, to encourage you, to relate to you, to help you, to strengthen with you, to walk with you, to build you up. Because at the end of the day, nobody can motivate you. You see, the word motivation, the root word of it is motion. You see, I can't make you do anything in life. People don't mind change. They just don't want to be changed. In other words, they don't want nobody to tell them what to do. And so in order for you to be motivated, you have to put yourself in motion. Then the next thing is basically at the end of the day, you got to think about it, inspiration. Well, you say, well, wait a minute, I need to be inspired. Well, here's what I can do. I'm here to inspire you. And when you think about what inspiration is, it is me putting inside of you a spirit that wakes you up, that brings you alive, and gets you connected with the things you need to motivate yourself. He said, well, what about encouragement? What is encouragement? Well, encouragement is when I'm now, again, putting courage in you, speaking to that area inside of you that's looking at this hill and saying, I don't know how I'm going to climb it. Looking at these bills and saying, I don't know how I'm going to pay them. Looking at these children and saying, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Looking at your spouse and your relationship and saying, I don't know how much longer it's going to last. But me putting some encouragement in you, some courage, speaking into you, wakes up your ability to look at your situation in the face and say, you know what, I will defeat you. And so at the end of the day, I asked you the question, what's holding you back from accomplishing your dreams? Most people say fear, other people say lack of encouragement. But I'm here to tell you that I'm here to walk with you. Do me a favor, if you like these videos, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos with others. And make sure you join my email, okay, on DonovanDarius.com, where I can give you daily and weekly motivational tips and strategies and methods on how you can live your life to the fullest. You're not alone unless you choose to be alone. Get connected with me. Allow me to help you. Allow me to walk with you, your organization, your team, your organization. Reach out to me. Listen, hope this was encouraged to you. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, or share. I'm Double D, Donovin Darius, your international speaker, motivator, and your success coach. Saying peace to you.